Game of the day. Zootriot versus faris tofol. Rachel versus Eagle.
Welcome back to the channel, folks. Semi-original guy here, aka Mr. Cannon from Advanced Wars by Web, bringing you another lively game of the day. Today, folks, we are on Morning Rice. This is a base light matchup with an airport and comm tower support. Absolutely no portage on this map. Now, this map is pretty neat, folks. We got zootriot and faris tofol as our players today, playing as Eagle and Rachel in the live league. Now, when we take a look at this map, we can see here that we do have two bases located right here and right here. I know, crazy stuff, folks, but it looks like we also have the ability of sending reinforcements down here. We also have the ability of sending reinforcements up here. Now, the reinforcements for vehicles are going to be very slow for this matchup. So precision and placement is going to be key for this. Now, we also have an airport. We are going to be spamming the battle copters out of this airport non-stop for this base light. Aside from that, folks, it looks like we may have a few contested properties right here and a few contested properties right here. These ones are definitely a little bit contested here, but I would say easily enough, these properties are all going to fall to one side here, and vice versa. All these properties here are going to fall to this side over here. So there's been very little games actually played on this map, folks, so it's kind of a brand new map. This is a Dr. Nasty map. Very interesting indeed. Do love me some Dr. Nasty maps up in here, folks. So I think we're going to have a pretty good one here. This one was not submitted to me. This one was my personal choice. So hopefully you will enjoy. And let's see what went down in the live league today. Bow, 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 bow. On the first few days, folks, you all know the deal. Standard infantry builds, you got to get those infantry on the field. It is the #1 priority in Advanced Wars by Web. #2 priority in Advanced Wars by Web. Folks, make sure you like and subscribe to the channel for all that hot live league action. Alright, folks, as we see here, the units are flowing across the map like fine wine. Let's see where they end up here. We got an early tank over here from the Rachel zootriot. It's going to be busting out a tank of their own. There we go, folks. There we go. The tanks are coming out. Now, zootriot's positioning for the tank is in response to the tank that faris has already bought. He put it in a position where it's going to be able to immediately threaten faris's tank, or faris's tank is going to be able to do the exact same thing. Ooh, we got an interrupt already, folks. This is one thing that happens very often when we see these small maps, folks. You get a lot of interrupt action going on. Now, I think Zoot actually foregoed buying a tank, which is very interesting. I think he actually had the income to buy a tank. Yeah, he could have bought a tank if he wanted to, but he didn't. He chose to buy the infantry because standard infantry are very important, folks. Once again, they are the #1 priority in Advanced Wars by Web. Alrighty, folks. Battlecopter over here from faris. Very nice. Now, when it comes to the matchup between Eagle and Rachel, it's a very interesting matchup, folks, because Eagle solely dependent on unit count for that lightning strike. Now, if he ends up losing a bunch of his vehicles to a Rachel super co-power, the covering fire, it is going to be very likely that his lightning strike is not going to be very effective overall. But considering that lightning strike usually takes about an extra day, maybe 2, in order to actually charge over a covering fire, it's likely that maybe he will just wait and then be able to get some maximum value out of it afterwards. But we have some engagements, folks. 3, 6, 7 engagements in a row. Very unlucky. Very unlucky. You would hope that one of them would go down to 5, but I think that's pretty much the standard role, is getting them down to 6. But taking 30% encounter on every single one of them is pretty rough. But that's 2 interrupts in a row, folks, so it's not too shabby, all things considered. But Faris decides to fire back instead of capturing, practically eliminating the infantry presence in the top portion of the map. Zootriot now on day 8 retreats one of the infantry, goes in for an attack, and then is starting to use the battlecopter tank combinations to bust open that pipe seam. Now, did do a few previous attacks to this, so this is sitting at 18. This guy is going down to 1 battlecopter strike next turn, which is going to greatly increase the reinforcement range of the southern base to the front line combat. Not a single anti-air in sight, folks. Not a single anti-air in sight yet. This is Battlecopter City. Very cool. Alrighty, day 9 over here from Zoot, going in and taking a few more engagements up north after losing a few infantry, but Battlecopter going over to the top portion of the map instead of attacking the pipe seam. So that's very interesting. The existing Battlecopter down south is going to attack the pipe seam, finishing it off, increasing that movement range. That is going to play a major role in the reinforcements here, folks, as Zootriot busts out the classiest unit in Advanced by Web. Folks, the classy medium tank is here on the field. Looking beautiful, looking sharp. Let's see what kind of devastating power this medium tank will unleash upon this battlefield as Faris decides to clear the infantry up north. Now, you can see that Faris is definitely considering attacking the tank with the battlecopter, but that would not be a very good move, folks. Unfortunately, Eagle's battlecopters severely outclass Rachel's battlecopters, so if you go in for that engagement, you are going to lose, and you have no backup, so it's not worth it, folks. Not worth it. You got to get those first engagements on the battlecopters, provided you have backup. That is the thing, folks. Battlecopters, like friends, they love friends. They need friends. They need as many things protecting them as possible. Battlecopters are great backup. Alrighty, folks. Zoot takes a nice defensive position down south. Actually, almost creates a smiley face. This is like a one-eyed smiley with a guy with a little gap tooth here or something. It's looking pretty charming, folks. I'm not going to lie. But it is Faris's turn. Multiple tanks on the field right now. Multiple battlecopters. Let's see what he manages to do here. Takes out an infantry up north, goes in for a tank engagement, double tank engagement, and gets the roll. That is a lucky roll, folks. 33% chance, and he got it. There we go. Unless there was a little bit of chip damage. I'm not going to go back and check, but what a move, folks. What a move. As the battlecopter rushes in and takes the engagement against the Eagle battlecopter. Massive hit. Will result in the loss of one of these tanks here. Takes it all the way down to 1. Very sad for the tanky boy, but the medium tank got the feed today. Alrighty, property is now being capped down south. Up north, another infantry wall is being created to protect the battlecopter assault, which is about to occur up north. It is now Faris's turn, moves in with the battlecopter, takes the engagement to interrupt the capture, eliminates an infantry, and he almost eliminates another infantry. Takes a fat flippin' engagement down south. That is injuring many of the infantry down south. The front line is looking quite rough. But Zootriot busts out this anti-air last turn, which is going to be able to rush itself to the front lines right now and immediately start threatening those battlecopters, provided the medium tank can at least take out the tank. If the medium tank takes out the tank, the anti-air is going to be able to just walk around willy-nilly, destroying everything in its path. Alright, we have a infantry engagement. Boom, takes it out. And then we have the tank moving up to attack the other tank. And the anti-air moves in position to block and protect both the classy medium tank and the normal tank. Alright, two more infantry. Wow. Zoot. Riot. Banking 15k this turn. That is a massive amount of funds banked. Clears the infantry, which is capping the property. And he's only dealing with 12k right now. He's definitely got to get some more money on the field. Very risky position up north. Very risky indeed. What is the position of this anti-air? The anti-air does not cover. Oh, it does. Okay. The anti-air covers this position here, but does not cover this spot. Is there a way that Zoot can break this wall to attack the battlecopter? Could be possible, but it could not be possible at the same time, folks. It's going to be very risky because we are getting dangerously close to covering fire territory here. Little Sturm Jr. over here, potentially going to be busting up massive damage, but Zoot takes the engagement that I was thinking about. Takes the engagement. Not too shabby at all. One battlecopter versus two battlecopters. But the one battlecopter has an anti-air, so I mean, he's feeling pretty good about that. And Zoot showing absolutely no fear. Oh, he busts out the Soiled Abomination, folks. The Soiled Abomination is on the field. One thing that is going to be very nice about this Soiled Abomination is it is going to probably soak up the meteor, folks. Yep. Yep. Would you take a look at that, folks? Double taps. Oh no, we went too far back. Okay, let's get back to where we were here, folks. Oh, wait, hold on, hold the phone. Yeah, looks like we have two that fell here, one that fell here. All right, so it hits the entire back line, but it doesn't hit anything on the front line. So we'll cripple the reinforcements a little bit, but let's see what happens. Classy Boy gets taken down to 5. Very unfortunate indeed. Oh, but there's a lightning strike coming, folks. There's going to be a lightning strike happening very soon. I think it is... Well, it's actually entirely possible that Zoot gets lightning strike this time. Because if he really wants to, he could sack a copter. But I don't think he needs to sack a copter. I think all he has to do is take a medium tank engagement and then eliminate one of the copters. And then take an engagement like battlecopter to tank, and he should be able to get the co-power. Super co-power. Let's see if he goes for it, though. Yeah, see, that's all he needs to do. Alright. The Soiled Abomination is moving in. Busts out a single tank in order to get that movement, and then the Soiled Abomination finds its way onto the front lines of the battlefield here, folks. But the anti-air got to eliminate 2 battlecopters this turn. The battlecopter up north got to attack the tank and then run away also, folks. Now, it is going to be quite a bit of time before Faris acquires another covering fire. So let's see. Let's see if he can manage to do some damage before then. Battlecopter tries to take the engagement against the Neo, but the Neo is just too stinky, folks. The stench from the Neo tank repelled the damage from the battlecopter, and I believe that it did 2 damage. 3 damage. 3 stench damage. It's an area effect, folks. You gotta watch out for it. Alright, once again it is Zoot's turn. Neo tanks moves in. Anti-air moves in. And up north we got some engagements here. Now, it does look like Faris is gonna be able to get a property up north, which is fantastic for him. That turns it into a 14-14 game, folks. Not too shabby. Very low amount of properties on this map. So it's actually very interesting to see tech ups here. But Zoot Riot, 17,500 funds in the bank. Could potentially bust out another classy medium tank. But the unit count is kind of suffering a little bit here, folks. So maybe in this instance, it might be better just to bust out as many units as you can. We got a tank anti-air on the field. It looks like Faris is doing a push, eliminates one of the infantry, goes for a capture, attacks another infantry, forms a nice defensive wall. Now, it does appear that the wall, the anti-air in the front could be struck by a tank, but that's it. Zoot does not really want to attack into this. At least I would not figure he would want to attack into that. It doesn't really look like a great position to attack into. So he's going to get a few attacks here. Goes in with the battlecopter anyways, which is very curious. Faris is going to have to do something about the soiled abomination down south, folks, because if that is not dealt with, he is going to be having an absolutely terrible time. A full HP soiled abomination running amok on the battlefield? No, you don't want that, folks. You absolutely don't want that. So he's got the battlecopters in the south to take care of that. Now, the position up north is actually looking really nice. Really nice indeed, because there is a anti-air engagement here. There is a battlecopter engagement here. And there are 2 tank strikes right here. That's pretty much striking every single vehicle. And only 1 vehicle could be counterattacked here. So Faris could do some damage here, folks. Even more damage if he decides to pop the lucky last, but it doesn't look like he's going for it. All right, decisions were made. Decisions were made. He attacks every single vehicle. Did do some nice damage, folks, but I feel like in this instance, using the lucky last probably would have been really, really good. It could have completely obliterated the front line. But we get covering fire, so it doesn't matter. Zoot's still quite a ways away from being able to get another lightning strike here, but does take the engagements, does the damage, and busts out more vehicles. Another anti-air on the field here. Oh. Where did that one go? Wow. Wow. Very, it hits the Neo tank down south, which is great. That's actually fantastic, but 2 of them hit right here. Which is very unfortunate. Very unfortunate for Faris. I feel like maybe, I don't really know. It'd be hard to tell without actually going into the move planner, folks. But maybe moving these guys down here, getting them out of the way, like eliminate these guys. One of the missiles might have fired right here. And that would have done some pretty respectable damage as well. But either way, the damage has been done. Oh, eliminates the classiest unit in advancements by web. Very unfortunate for the classy boy. Very unfortunate indeed. But the damage is done here, folks. The damage is done. It's 18 to 14, 68,000 value to 48,000. Zoot probably not going to be getting a lightning strike this turn, but the Neo tank and the tank and anti-air combination down south is absolutely brutal. There's still no direct counter to this soiled abomination, folks. There needs to be a counter coming up and eliminating this Neo tank here. This Neo tank cannot just stand here, walking around the battlefield, spewing its stench everywhere, folks. Can't do it. Absolutely can't do it. This theme is bopping. All right. Faris, day 20. Currently ahead in income, 15 to 13, which is very nice. That does put Faris in the position where he can buy 2 tanks every single turn. Zoot's only being able to buy 1 tank every single turn. So I like it. I like being in that position, folks. Now, it would seem like he's going to go for another property here, which is fantastic. I mean, you got to get those properties for sure. Brings everything out of range of the terrifying trio down south as well, which is great. You don't want to be rushing up into that. Zoot busting out the mechanized infantry. There we go, folks. You got to get those mechanized infantry on the field. And another property has been flipped. This is a 16 to 12 game. Wow. Wow. At this point, it is going to be very difficult for Zoot to be able to regain some territory here. But with Lightning Strike, folks, anything can happen. It is really just up to Faris to just put the pressure on and not really allow Zoot to get the lightning strike. He can't let him just get the lightning strike. He's got to just keep him at bay. I mean, obviously, he's going to get the lightning strike, but playing on increment here as well, Faris, you know, it is very difficult to plan out very strategic things. Increment gaming is very difficult, folks. So, got to make sure to manage your time very well. Zoot playing this very nice, though, being very defensive, waiting for an opportunity here. Hopefully it pays off for him because he is playing this as well as he possibly can, pretty much. All right, get out of the Soiled Abominations range, though. There is no reason to just be sitting there in its range. Just get out of there. Is there anything covering this tank? Okay, we have one battlecopter covering this tank. So that's a 2-shot. Ooh. This could be very bad. Could be very bad. I don't know if it's going to be very bad, but I'm not liking the fact that we're just sitting there. Neo tank doesn't take the engagement, though. It's going up north. Day 23. 2 properties have to be flipped in order for this to be an even game. 3 properties to win. Oh, Faris. Getting very adventurous here, going for these engagements. Oh, he's bringing everything. He is bringing everything in range. Bust out the classiest unit in advanced by web. All right. Ew, I don't know. I don't know if I like that. Oh, that is a tricky situation. That is a tricky situation. See, the issue with an attack like this, when Eagle has lightning strike, pushing into him like that is going to give his lightning strike maximum value. So I have a feeling Zoot's going to be busting out a fat lightning strike this turn. Let's see if he does it, folks. Yeah, he's busting out the lightning strike. Look at how many units have just fallen. Oh my god. Faris had such a good position. And just like that, with one lightning strike, his entire army has just been eliminated, basically. Oh my god. Alright, we got the covering fire. Got a battlecopter plus tank engagement on the Neo. This Soiled Abomination, but can't really do anything else, folks. That is going to be a flip of a property here. That is going to turn this into a 13-15 game. And there we go, 13-15. And the super cool power has been popped, but unfortunately, there are healthy infantry on the front lines, folks, and that is dangerous enough in itself. Alright, but Faris is not giving up. He's giving this his all. He's pushing in. He's doing the damage. But that's really like all that he's able to do that turn. Day 25. We even have a mech. Was that like a 4 HP mech? 4 HP mech taking an engagement against a full HP infantry and doesn't get deleted. What? That's something, man. That is a mech. That is a mech right there. That's like the mechest mech of all time. What a legendary mech. And this Neo tank is still alive. Eliminate the Neo tank. Eliminate the Soiled Abomination. Do it. Get rid of it. Get rid of him. Day 26. Oh, the medium tank goes over there. Now, mind you, all you really need to do to win this game is to capture the lab. So, I mean, if the lab gets captured, that is game over right there, folks. 26 units to 12 now. Zoot is capping those properties, folks. Oh my god. Okay. This one's gonna even it. This one's gonna win it. This one has to be stopped. It has to be stopped. 4 days needs to be stopped. Stop him. It's like the flippin' orc that is running into Helm's Deep, carrying the explosives. You're Legolas right now. You have one job, and that is to stop the infantry from capping the city. Can it be done, though? Can it be done? Day 27. I'll replay that, folks. Got the anti-air elimination here. No, go for the Neo. Just gotta just destroy it. Destroy it. Do it. Do it now. 10 units left. But Faris is well ahead in unit count. Or unit value. Oh, another tank is gone. Now, there's so many properties are going to get flipped. So many properties are going to get flipped here. Oh my god. Day 26. No, eliminate the Neo, please. Please, just eliminate him. It's the only thing I ask for. It's the only thing. This is the only thing I want. The only thing I want is to see it fall. Now, unfortunately, this wasn't good enough of a push. It does look like this property is going to be captured. This property is going to be captured. That is going to flip it in Zootriot's favor over here. There is a property being capped down south. I don't know if it's going to work out, though. Let's see. Now, if Zoot is not careful, there is definitely some HQ capping potential here, but he sacrifices the infantry in order to make sure that that is not going to happen. Brings the battlecopter down south. Very, very good awareness here. Does not want the cheesy win here, but he's going for the capture anyways. Eliminates the tank, so this will be attacked by the battlecopter. Blocks the infantry. Alright, it's all coming down to this right here. If this lab is capped. Lightning drive. Gets the KO. That's it, folks. That is it. That is game. Zootriot deletes every single unit except for a battlecopter and busts out the pipe runner. On day 30, Faris busts out the power. Goes to attack the battlecopter, doing 2 damage, and then resigns. What a fantastic game between these two. What a game, folks. What a game. Faris played well, but Zootriot. Actually, in all reality, it all came down to this right here. This one right here. This turn, pushing in like that. No, unfortunately, that just wasn't it. It wasn't it, folks. Well ahead in value. Pushing into lightning strike. Not really the way to go. Probably what would have needed to happen here would be to just concede some ground. Make it so, you know, Eagle can't really hit a whole lot with the lightning strike. So he's got to, like, you know, spend 1 turn moving, 1 turn attacking with the lightning strike. And then fire back afterwards. But Live League is a crazy time, folks. Anything can happen, and you never know what will occur. But hopefully you all enjoyed that one. If you did, consider leaving a like, comment, or subscribe to the channel, folks. I will see you all in the next one. Take care of yourselves, and